तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम प्रज्ञानां शुभप्रदानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्टान् पुनरपि दिशनोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। ब्रह्म तन्नतः अस्मि। I remain prostrated to the Brahman. This is the prayer. The prayer that Bhagavad Acharya has composed for Mandukya Upanishad, or Mandukya Karika we should say, because this whole Bhashya, if you would see written a little bit, Shankaracharya says it is the commentary on the Prakarana, the 4 Prakaranas of Gaudapada Karika. The reason he introduces like that is because the first Prakarana, which is Agama Prakarana, is embedded along with the Upanishad. So when he is doing the commentary, the Upanishad Vakya is included in the first Prakarana. And like we saw in the last class, there are 4 Prakaranas, 4 chapters. Agama Prakarana, Vaithatya Prakarana, Advaita Prakarana, and finally the Alata Shanti Prakarana. So when Acharya has composed this prayer, there are 2 prayer shlokas that he has composed. They are not only general prayers, but they are also introducing the entire subject matter that is discussed in this Mandukya Karika and Mandukya Upanishad. So it is not a prayer prarthana on some Pauranika deities. That also sometimes we do, but in general the Upanishad Bhashya and all, the prayer is towards the Parabrahman only. So here also he says Brahma nataha asmi, yad Brahma tat nataha asmi. I remain saluted or prostrated, I remain in namaskara bhava towards that Brahma. Now what is that Kim Tat Brahma is what is covered in the remaining part of the shloka. Okay. So I keep getting people joining, so I have to admit I will change this link to one with the password or something so that I don't have to keep admitting. So I will send a new link from next time. Yad Brahma tannatosmi, I remain prostrated to that Brahma. And what is that Brahman? Is the qualification that is covered in the remaining portion of the shloka. Now that description of Brahman is the subject matter covered within this Upanishad. Prajnanam Shukpratanaihi Sthirachara Nikara Vyapibhihi Vyapya Lokan Bhuktva Bhogan Stavishtan Punaha api Dishana Udbhasitan Kamajanyaan Pitva Sarvan Visheshan Swapiti Madurabhung Mayaya Bhojayannaha Maya Sankhya Turiyam Paramam Ritam Ajam Brahma Yet Tannataha Asmi. So the three states and the fourth state of Turiya are the four quarters that we already introduced in the last session. And those four states is what he explains here as one Brahman's states. It's not one Jiva's states. It is all of one Brahman. And which Brahman is experiencing, undergoing all this, that kind of a Brahman I remain prostrated to. That is the construct of this shloka. Prajna is how he starts. Prajnanam Brahma itself is a Mahavakya. So Prajna itself is a Suchakam for Mahavakyam or Suchakam for Brahma. Generally, any book starts with a Mangala Pada. Mangala Suchakam or directly Mangalam. Atato Brahma Jignasa is the first sutra in Brahma Sutra. So a sutra literature, I am giving one example. A sutra literature has to be very cryptic. Alpaksharam, Asandigdham, Saravati, Vishwatomukham is all definition of how a sutra should be. So why did they need a sutra? What is a sutra? It's a very cryptic way of telling something. So whatever is, so the sutra is Athato Brahma Jignasa is a sutra. It's very Atha, Ataha, Brahma Jignasa. 4 words are there. Now this Atha is picked up. And then there is an elaborate discussion. What should this Atha mean? For 2-3 pages it goes. Then Ataha. What could this Ataha mean? Then what does this Brahma mean? So then Purvapaksha, everything is discussed, debated. So then Jignasa. Why should there be a Jignasa of Brahman? So these are discussed. Now once it is discussed, all this meaning that so far have been discussed is in your mind. But in terms of words, you carry the words Atato Brahma Jignasa. That's all. It's such a simple thing. But the meaning behind it has already been absorbed into your mind if you have listened to that vichara. Now, what is the benefit? The benefit is that in those days, when it was all palm leaves, manuscripts, and where there was no print or computer or whatever, the sounds and the words were minimized to carry a large scale of knowledge. That is why the sutra literature was used. Okay, the reason I was saying, even in that sutra, okay, which is supposed to be a very cryptic way of telling something, a Mangala Pada is how it should start. So this Atha is used because it is Mangala Suchakam. Omkarascha Atasabjascha Dvavetau brahmanah pura kantham vitva viniryatau tasman mangalikau ubhau. This Omkara and Atha are the two words used by Brahman at the time of Srishti. Before he started Srishti, he used the words Om Atha. That is how it is said in Sampradaya. I mean, there is a tatparya behind this, but even if you assume, just figuratively, he used these words Om Atha. So Atha is a Manga, just like Omkara, Atha is also Mangala Suchaka. Therefore, Athato Brahma Jignasa is how it starts, is the explanation given. So, the beginning should be an auspicious word, because then only it carries it. The prayer is for this whole thing to be studied for ages. And we know these prayers have worked. Correct? Even this prayer has worked. How do you say it worked? Because we are even now studying this. Means whatever Acharya prayed for has worked. Because those days, it was a generation, like we said, there was no communication, there was no print media, there was no paper printing, publishing, nothing. It was all palm scripts written by people, written down and carried through ages. And these were like volumes of works. So if it has carried forward till today for hundreds of years, whether it is 1500 years or 2500 years, doesn't matter. Still, it is a long time. So his prayer has worked, is how we should see it. And that prayer starts with prajna. Prajna is Brahman. So prajnana amshuk pratanehi. So this prajna means your swarupa. What is your swarupa? So whatever is outside of this body can't be your swarupa. Like the wall, sun, moon, earth. There is no confusion there. We don't take any of that as your swarupa. Now, where we have to find out truly is your swarupa or not, or my swarupa or not, starts from this physical body. Is this body my swarupa? The body comes with me, is always there with me, so why should it not be taken as my swarupa? The question is, in dream or in deep sleep or in samadhi, do you have the experience of the physical world? And the biggest confusion always is what is I and what is non-I. Wherever I can say something with the word this, we call it as this cognition, can't be an I cognition. An I cognition and a this cognition can't be together, can't be same. So if we have to separate out the this cognition, then this wall, I say it is this cloth is this wire is this hand is also this. So this body is this, and my prana, breathe, I can feel it, right? So it is a this cognition. I am talking, I can hear the sound I am making. That is part of this cognition. I am thinking about the Shastra now, and that thinking is known to me. That is also part of this cognition. You are hearing a sound of Shastra being unfolded. That is part of your this cognition. You are happy now, peaceful. That is something again available to you for this cognition. You are not angry. That not angry also is available for this cognition. So what is not available for this cognition? Your thoughts are available for this cognition. Your emotions are available for this cognition. It's not I cognition. Even when you say I am a thinker, the thinking part is this, because you know you are thinking. How do you know? By being a witness to the thought, you know that the thinking is taking place now. That you are thinking is known to you. That you are happy is known to you. So all these are objectified, even though not by indriyas. Everything is not only indriya objectification. What is outside of you is through the indriya. Your body also is through the indriya, like your eyes and nose can smell your hand. Yeah, I have basma vibhuti smell. So it means I can smell, I can touch my body. But emotions is not cognized through your indriya. But those are sakshi pratyaksha, witness perceptions. You are witnessing your emotion. Even your deep sleep that you don't know anything is known through a witness perception, because you say, when I was sleeping, I didn't know anything. And I just woke up. But I was happy throughout the sleep. I had a good sleep. You are able to say, because you have witnessed it. Otherwise, it will be a loss of time. Now, whatever after leaving all this cognition remains is what is called prajna. Whatever that is. Whether you want to use the word consciousness, then the question is, what is consciousness? So there is tree consciousness, there is light consciousness, there is sound consciousness, there is a perception consciousness, and there is this body consciousness, and there is my anger consciousness and my breath consciousness. So if you leave all the changing part in this, including the factor of the one that is conducive to change, the changeability of consciousness also, if you leave out, the very essence of consciousness is the prajna. And that prajna is Brahman. I think that is where the switch happens. Brahma means what? Brihi Vriddhau is the root. The large. The large, what? Large is used as an adjective generally, right? The large book. The large tree. The large mountain. The large planet. The large star. So the large is, or big or large or whatever, is used as an adjective. But if it doesn't qualify anything and it's not Brihat Pustakam, if you use it, then it's an adjective. But here it is not used as an adjective, but a noun, which is the substantive or subject itself, object itself. That means it implies the infinite. Brahma means that which is not limited. Brihattamatvat Brahma. It is the largest. Nothing surpasses it. Means what? It is infinite. That which pervades everything is Brahma. And that Brahma is Prajna. That is Prajnanam Brahma. But you said Prajna is what is available for eye cognition. But to me, the Brahma is whatever is available for this cognition is what is Brahma. For me, everything that I objectify is my world, Jagat, including you all, for me is part of my world. So when I cognize a Brahma, that Brahma includes all that is available for this cognition. When I say Jagat, everything that is here means what? We generally take whatever we see outside. For you, I am part of the Jagat. For me, you are part of my Jagat. That is how we see this world. That is why Ishvara is used in Tattva, Tatpada. That Ishvara, who is this Samashti? Tvamasi, you are. And that you is Prajna. That is why it is Mahavakya, Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakyam. The Jiva and Ishvara are not different. Now the how is what we have to see. But here also when it says Prajnanam Brahma, Prajna is eye cognition. The Brahma is typically part of our this cognition. That is how we see. If you are already seeing Brahma as me and Jagat together and you have understood it, then there is no need for equation. The equation has come because for you, you are a limited person. Even when you say Prajna, you are separate from all this cognition. What will you say? At least earlier I was me plus this body, plus this mind, plus this prana, everything together was me. Now you are saying remove the body, remove the prana, remove the mind, and then what is left is you. Already I thought I am small, you have made me even smaller by saying I am only Prajna. So that Prajna, how can it be this whole Brahma? And that is where the equation comes. Now coming to the shloka, Prajnana Amshu Pratanaihi. Amshu means Kirana, the race. Chaitanya Kirana Santanaihi. The conscious being that you are, your Prajna, the race of or Kirana of that Prajna, and through that race, what is happening? Stira Chara Nikara Vyapibihi. Stavara Jangama Vrinda Vyapibihi. By pervading all that is moving and unmoving things in this world. So all the things in the world are classified as either Stira or Chara. Things which don't move and things which move. Which move means what? All the human beings, animals, insects, whatever, including wind, planets, anything which is moving. And what doesn't move? Actually, what doesn't move is very difficult. Maybe space, because even Earth is moving. Within earth, you can say tree doesn't move. But then along with the earth, tree is also moving actually. So it's all relative. So when you within the earth, there are certain stiras and certain chara. Chara means moving, stira means non-moving. That is why the explanation is Thavara Jangama Vrinda. Nikara means Vrinda, the groups, the collections. So all that you experience, either it is chara, stira and chara, right? When you say it either stationary or moving, you have covered everything. So this all that is here is cognized by you. By, I wouldn't say you, by this prajna. When you say prajna, it is you. When you say Brahma, it is this Sarvam Brahma. And here he starts with Prajnanamshu, but then says, finishes with Brahma Natosmi. So which is the one which is experiencing all this? It is Brahma. The Brahma is the one which is experiencing this world. By how? By what means? By this prajna, prajnana amshu. By the rays of its own consciousness is what this experience is. Prajnana amshu pratanaihi. Third case in Sanskrit means it's an instrumental case. Through the rays of consciousness, by pervading all that is here. When I say, so this is how we see this, right? This is the Shastra view of how this world experience happens. When I say I am seeing this cloth, means there is a vritti of this cloth that is happening. Vritti means a change in consciousness. Antahkarana vritti. In your mind, in your karanam, there is a vritti of a cloth perception. And the vritti of cloth perception is what is the cloth experience. But there is whiteness in this. Yeah, there is a vritti of whiteness perception that is making you a white experience. But I see some threads in it. Yeah, there is a vritti of thread perception which is giving you the thread experience. I sense a distance between me and the cloth. There is a space. Yes, that space is space vritti. I touch the cloth. Yeah, there is a touch vritti. I smell the cloth. Yeah, there is a smell vritti. I sensed the cloth coming to my nose. Yeah, you have, that is coming to the nose vritti. So all the experience is vritti, vritti, vritti. When you are seeing the mountain, there is a mountain vritti. But I am seeing a physical mountain. Yeah, the seeing of physical mountain vritti. But there is a space in between me and the mountain. Yeah, there is a space vritti. So each of the experience is nothing but the vritti of that perception. It is all about vritti. That is why prajnanam supratanaihi sthirachara nikara vyapi bihi vyapya. Lokan vyapya. The entire this cognition that the world is pervaded. Just give me 1 minute. I don't know. It is pervaded by prajnanamshu kiranaihi, prajnanamshu santanaihi, chaitanya kirana santanaihi. By the rays of my being, which is consciousness, all my perceptions, all my experiences are pervaded. It is not that something comes and then I go and pervade it. It's not like that. That something itself is because I have already pervaded it. So it's not that the mountain has come and my thought goes and pervades it. No. that there is mountain, it's because the Prajnanamshu has already pervaded that vritti is there, then only mountain is there. Therefore, sthirachara nikara vyapibihi vyapya. What lokan? Lochyate. My experience is loka. That's all. Whatever is the experience is my loka, right? Not bhuloka, bhuvarloka, all that. Yeah, if you experience that, that is your loka. So prajnanamshu pratanaihi sthirachara nikara vyapya lokan, having pervaded all that is here through one's own Chaitanya Kirana, the rays of consciousness, then what does it do? Bhuktva bhogan, stavishtan, stulataman. What is stavishta, stulatama? The hardened bhogya vishayan anubhuya. The most gross. What is gross? Stavishtan. Whatever is available in Vekan is Stula Jagat. It is the most tangible because in Vekan is where the complete upadhi is available. Mind is available, voice is available, physical body is available. This is the maximum that can be available to you. So the maximum solidified, hardened experience is only in the waking, not in the dream or deep sleep. Therefore, it is called Stavishtha, Stulatama Bhoga. Bhuktva, having eaten Bhogan, all the experiences. Bhoga means not just pleasure only. All that experience is Bhoga. Whether it is Dukkha, Sukha, or even a neutral Anubhava is Bhoga. Bhuktva, having eaten, having consumed all that is there in the Vekan, having consumed it, Punahapi means the same Brahma which has so far consumed this Stula experience. What all is experience? Not just this Jagat, not the mountains and skies and stars and emotions and all that, but even my own self as this so and so. Mr. Devadatta, that I am, is also known to me only in Vekan. So that is also actually, that knowledge is also part of this Tavishtan Bhogan Bhuktva, that same Swarupa, which is free from all these, all what, including the world and knowledge of myself, is not available in the other two states. Therefore, Punahapi Dishana Udbhasitan. Dishanam means di means buddhi. Buddhi Udbhasitan. So here in explanation, atra swachaitanyena stulopadi vishayan yedi ikshate sahayeva vaishwanaraha jagrad vishayan bhunte iti vakyartaha. So here he introduces the word vaishwanaraha. We will come to Vaishwanara later. It is okay. Can wait. So Dishana Udbhasitan. Punaha api means what? Punascha avasthanam anubhuya. It is the same entity. And also, why we have to say it is the same entity? Because whatever experience which is there in the waking is what is going to lead you into the dream. So dream is not, it is some kind of a recollection only, right? In some haphazard way. That is how dream happens. So Dishanodbhasitan Kamajanyan. Dishana Udbhasitan. Dishana means buddhi, buddhi vritti. So here he says buddhi vritti vasana rupan. So Stula Jagat also we said is Vritti. We just said mountain is mountain Vritti, right? The mountain consciousness, mountain awareness is a change in the buddhi only. Here also it is Dishanodbhasitan Kamajanya. Here also the answer it explained as Vritti, Buddhi Vritti. Yeah, there is a Dishanodbhasitan, but the Buddhi Vritti only without a tangible outside object which is perceivable by your Indriya. So there is a mountain, my eyes are used to see the mountain in the waking. My ears are available to hear the sound in the waking. Whereas in the dream, the Indriyas are not used. Even though you hear a sound in dream, even though you see a mountain in the dream, but it is not through Indriya perception, but purely the Dishana only, the Buddhi only is projecting this. There is a mountain in waken, there is a mountain in dream. Both the mountains are Vritti Vishaya only. Even in waken, the mountain is through your Vritti only, there is mountain is perceived. In dream also, your Vritti only is perceiving the mountain. There is no difference in that. But in the waken, even though the Buddhi Vritti is perceiving the mountain, but there is a Indriya Vyavahara is there, your eyes are seeing a sight. That eye as an Indriya is available to you. Even though it is a Vritti, the eye availability also is a Vritti. But that Indriya Sannikarsha is there in waken. Whereas in dream, there is no Indriya Sannikarsha. It is purely Dishanodbhasitan. So it is Buddhi Vritti only. By what? Kama Janyan, Vasana Rupan, means Karma Janyan, Avidya, Kama, Karma. This is the sequence. Through ignorance, you get Kama, from Kama, you get Karma, and Karma leads to all these experiences. Punya Papa. Now, your dream also is an effect of your Punya Papa only. So, if you are getting a bad dream, means some of your Papa Karma is being eliminated. If you are getting a good dream, means what? Some of Punya Karma you are expending. Just like your Vakan also is because of Karma, dream also is considered to be because of your Punya Papa only. Therefore, Kama Janyan. Also, you can take the likes and dislikes influence the dream that you see. Therefore, you can take it like that also. Kama Janyan, Dishanodbhasitan. Now, how the dream comes, whether it is Kama Janyan is not the point. The point is, it is also Prajnanamshu Pratanahi only. This Prajnanamshu is Dishanam now. Buddhi. It is also Chaitanya Kiranam only. The Buddhi means what? Chaitanya. So the same Brahman which through Prajnanamshu experienced the Stavishta Jagat, which ate Bhuktva. Because it is Stavishta, he uses the word Bhuktva, eaten. And here he says Pitva Sarvan Viseshan. He says having drunk. Because here it is subtle, Sukshma Sarira Vyavahara. The dream is all Sukshma only. In fact, Vakan also is Sukshma only. You are experiencing the mountain, like I said, is a Buddhi Vritti only. Every experience is what? A Buddhi Vyavahara only, no? Experience can't be a non-Buddhi Vyavahara. The moment you say it is Buddhi, it is subtle only. It is your Antahkaranam only. So, but there is a Indriya Sannikarsha is there, therefore we say it is Stavishta. Otherwise, the word Stavishta doesn't have any meaning. Because the Stavishta is also experienced only within your Buddhi, which is subtle. So here your dream is through Sukshma Sharira, only through Antahkaranam, only subtle, there is no Stavishta. Therefore, he uses the word Pitva. drunk. The second state is drunk. First state is eaten because it is tavishtan. The gross food is eaten first. That is the imagery. Okay, this is like, Brahma is like one person. And then he first eats something. After eating the food, which is solid, he drinks water. So that is pitva. So the Brahma first eats the Vekan through its prajnanam shuk pratanihi. Through all this race of consciousness, the whole Jagat, Stavishta Jagat is eaten. And then in the dream world, all the subtle experiences are drunk. So pitva sarvan viseshan. After drinking all the viseshas, all the gunas, the various glories which are here, then swapiti. Pitva swapiti. Swachaitanyeena avabhasayanne tan bhunkte ataha taijasaha iti uchyate pitva sarvan viseshan saha yesha atma sushuptim avastam anubhavan sarvan stula sukshman bhogan pitva swatmani upasamhritya. Pitva sarvan viseshan swapiti, having drunk all. So in these two states, why sarvan viseshan pitva? The viseshas, the differentiation, the qualities, qualifications are there in Vekan and dream. So the nanatvam, the multifoldness of the world is available in the Vekan state. It is available in the dream state. But it is not available, but it is in a potential state in the deep sleep. Therefore, he says Madhura Bhuk. Madhura Bhuk, Madhuram means honey, sweet, enjoyment is called Madhuram. The one who eats the enjoyment, initially it ate what? Stavishtan Bhuktva, ate all the stula tama, the gross world, and then it drank the dream world, which is the subtle world. So food is eaten, liquid is drunk, now it is enjoying in a deep sleep. That is why it is called Madhura Bhuk. The same Brahman is now drinking honey. So this Brahmanas, right, in Shraddha and all, you give them food. First you put rice and all that. After they eat, then the water is drunk, right? And then you actually give them honey. Honey generally in South India, this tradition is there, right? In the leaves, when they are eating in the plantain leaves, you have to pour honey and then they drink honey. So here also the imagery we can take it like that, right? First is Bhuktva, then Pitva, now he says Madhura Bhuk. So he's drinking honey. Where? In the deep sleep. Sarvan Viseshan Pitva Swapiti Madhura Bhuk. But how all this Mayaya Bhojayannaha? This Madhura Bhuk Bhojayita. Who is the Bhojayita? That is Ishvara. And that Bhojayita is Bhojayannaha. And who is that Bhojayita? Maya Sankhya Turiyam. That Turiyam is Chaturiyam, the fourth quarter. We said, no? 4 quarters. The 4 quarters, the 3 quarters are Vekan, dream and deep sleep. And the 4th quarter is Turiyam, which is the Bhojayita, Bhojayannaha. The one who is the cause of all this Bhogam. We'll see what The explanation here is Madhura Bhung Swapiti Anandam Anubhavan Vartate. The one who is present as the enjoyer in the deep sleep. Evam Stitaha Atma Naha Mayaya Bhojayan Asman Avidya Kalpita Nama Rupopadivihi Bhojayanne Bhoktritvam Apadayanne Swayam Maya Sankhya Turiyaha Avidyamana Avasthat Tritu Asankhyapeksaya Turiya Sabdavachyaha San Sayeva Brahma Param Sarva Vilakshanam Amritam Avinashi Ajam Janmarahitam Brahmayate Upanishad Prasiddham Tannatosmi Pranamami. So the Bhojayita is Turiya, the very Swarupa, very essence. Why you have to say this Turiya? Na Prajnam, na Prajnanaganam, na Aprajnam, na Ubhayata Prajnam. Like that, later in Shloka, he is going to say, Gaudapada, after talking about the three states, this Shloka comes. The Turiya is not the Prajna, the experiencer, not the non-experiencer, na Aprajnam, na Ubhayata Prajnam, not the one who is in between experience and not non-experience. So what is, after leaving all these attributes of me being an experiencer, the deep sleeper, what remains after all the attributes are removed? The Swarupa, that is me. Therefore, he says, Maya Madhurabhung Mayaya Bhojayannaha Maya Sankhya Turiyam. This Turiyam, the Chaturiyam, is na Prajnam, na Aprajnam, na Prajnanaganam, na Ubhayata Prajnam, Ekatma Pratyesaram. Like that, it is going to be described that Turiyam is a Maya Sankhya. This whole threefold or fourfold is Maya. It is like I was explaining in the WhatsApp chat also. Maya again is to explain, it's a prakriya. You see this? It is used as a prakriya. When you say everything is vritti, the vrittitvam is incidental. For the general example we give is pot and clay or gold chain and gold. When you say clay has become the pot, the potness is an incidental attribute. There is nothing called potness. Because if there is clay pot. When I touch the pot, I touch the clay. Before it became a pot, it was clay. After the pot breaks, also it is going to be clay. The weight of pot is weight of clay. The color of pot is color of clay. Whatever it is. We are not talking about the heated pot. Generally say if you have made a pot in clay. Pot is like a shape. It's a name and form given to clay in that moment. But there is no potness in the clay because in my understanding of clay, there is no pot. But in my understanding of pot, if suppose, leave all the other metal parts and all the plastic part and all, if there is only pots made of clay, then in my understanding, every understanding of pot, all that is here, all that is there is only clay. Because without thinking of clay, I cannot think of pot. But without thinking of pot, I can think of clay. So in my understanding of clay, there is no pot. And potness cannot exist on the top of clay or inside the clay, or even a samavaya sambandha and all that Tarkikas talk about. Where is potness itself? There is nothing like that. So sambandha to the clay itself is meaningless there. Now the vrittitvam is a change in consciousness, and there cannot be truth in it. Like as much as the potness has no truth other than it being the clay only. Like that, the vrittitvam that we saw, the prajna's vritti is the stavishta bhoga. Prajna's vritti is the dishanodbhasita kamajanya swapna. And it is also a witness perception which is available in the deep sleep. Even there is some kind of vritti, sakshi pratyaksha, because you have to get up and say, I slept. So you have to say there was an experience. It is not like a buddhi vritti, akara vritti, like you have seen a tree or whatever, but it's a different kind of experience only. So underneath all, if you leave that vrittitvam, the experiencingness of it, what remains is the Surupa. And that is Turiyam. And that Turiyam is available in all 3 states or 4 states. Means what? It is the only thing which is available. In the pot state, clay is available. In the lump of clay state, clay is available. In a broken pot state also, clay is available. Means what? Does it mean there is a pot available and clay available, the lump available and clay available as separate things? No, it was only clay all through. Similarly, the vrittitvam being mithya, the satyam is only the prajna. And then how is it seen? Mayaya. So the waken is Mayaya, the dream is Mayaya, the deep sleep also is Mayaya, Bhojayannaha. So all the 3 states, the Bhojayita of that which is Turiya is making the Jiva have all this Bhoga through Maya. Because it is as though there is no substance there. Still I see. Therefore it has to be said it is Maya Karyam only. Because without it being there, you are seeing. That's why we call it as Sadasadvyam Anirvachaniyam. You can't say it is completely true, because when you analyze it goes away. So they say, no, asti chet na vinashyati, nasti chet na avabhasate. If it is not there totally tucham, like rabbit's horn, then it can't be perceivable by you. But if it is satyam, then it should be beyond time and space, it should always exist. But this world goes away. When Shastra Pramana operates, you get this vision, the whole world is gone. In front of your eyes, it's gone. Bhavasagar sab suk gayi re. It just vanishes. So you can't say it exists. Therefore, it is called Sadasadvyam Anirvachaniyam. We don't want to explain it because it is inexplainable. But you can't say it exists. That is why Maya is a thing that we can't say has a status of reality like Brahman. But Maya understanding is essential to see how everything here is Brahman. Then only the worldness is like Maya is you. It's like saying the pot has been created in clay by Maya. But then we are saying there is no pot. Then where is the question of Maya creating a pot? Therefore, only clay is Satyam. So to understand only clay is Satyam, you are explaining pot through Maya. So to understand that all that is here is Brahman, we use Maya as a vehicle to show the world is nothing but Brahman. So Mayaya Stavishtan Bhogan Bhuktva Bhojayannaha Maya Sankhya Turiyam. This Turiyam is the one which is giving the Bhoga of Stavishta Jagat to the Vishwa. Vishwa is the word I am introducing. Shastra uses that. Vishwa means the vacant person. Why is he called the Vishwa? Because the entire Karya Deha is available. The Upadhi is available for world experience. In dream and deep sleep, this physical body is not available for experiencing the world. So it's called Vishwa. That Vishwa experience or Taijasa experience, which is the dream experience, then Prajnaha, who is deep sleep. All this is possible because of Maya. That Maya Sankhya Turiyam, that which is in all this experience, making this Jiva experiencing the three states, whatever is there, that is Paramam, Ritam, the truth, Ajam, which is unborn, that Brahma, which has always existed beyond the time and space, that which is there beyond time, space, and object. Yati Tannatosmi. I remain prostrated. To who? It is not a Brahman which is outside, but this outside and inside is known to who? And whose prajna vritti is what is this outside and inside? There is no outside and inside. Outside is outside vritti. Inside is inside vritti. Me is me vritti. Non-me is non-me vritti. Everything here is one vritti. And this vritti, if you take the vrittitvam, which is incidental, what remains is the only substance. And the substance is Brahma. And that Brahma Tannatosmi. In one shloka, this whole Upanishad is completed actually. So there is no nati and all that. Who am I prostrating? If it is all that is Brahman, who is the prostrator and who is the object that is being prostrated to? What is this prostration all about? But because there is a Maya Karyam and all that which is discussed, this Brahma is as though there is a creation, there is a Jagat, there is the thing which is making all this experience happen. Therefore, we have to say it is Ishvara. And that Ishvara, I am prostrating to. And that is what is called Brahma. So this is the Vidimukha Shloka. Now the same three, this is what Upanishad is going to cover, the three states being Brahman. Now the same three state being Brahman is Nisheda Mukhena. There is one more shloka that Bhashyakara has created. Here he uses Brahma, there he uses Atma. Therefore, the three states here he says is Brahma. Therefore, he says Natosmi. And there he says Atma. And then he says Patu. May it protect me. Protect from what? From this samsara. But why is it Nishedamukha? Because it says Vigata Gunaganaha. Devoid of all this experience and gunas and attributes. What is there? May that protect me. Therefore, it is a Nishedamukha. And this is Vidimukha. These two shlokas, he creates from the very subject matter of what is in the Upanishad and then creates a prayer out of it. So he has introduced the subject. We'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.